community happens. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Well, did you catch that? That was the original Feel the Bass EBN intro. Rissman made me put it back in. So, there it is. Hey, everybody. Great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Roll call. We got Everscale in the house. Hey, Everscale. Appreciate you, my friend. We'll talk soon. Debbie Young, Nighthawk, Matt Rissman, Davish, Jedi Master Lawrence, Graph Web, Lombardi 1969, Venger. Venger said, we're all Acolyte lovers. Ted's Nerd World, Jim S., Green Lantern 345, Papa Palpatine's Pizza Padawan, Rogue Sarge, Darth Maul's Lower Half, Dan Grissom, Andrew Wall, who said all kinds of crazy stuff, Donna Hergenrether, Star Wars Mom, Felix Kiros, John DeVoist, Blazerhawk Darren, The Real Super Shadow, Shadow 00 Knight, and my friend Mattuine, and anybody else that I missed. Thank you guys for being there. I see Crispy Mofo 1776. Paul is here. Cycleman 90. Eric Stroud Drums. What is up from Nashville? Yes. So hey everybody, great to see you. Oh, Paul likes my shirt, everybody. Paul likes my shirt. Guys, somebody made a brand new merch store. I don't know. Who could it be now? Wait, there I go singing again. Everybody's leaving. Okay, let's see here. You quit it, Rissman. I see you. All right, shirts. Look at me. Look at me work. Look at me work. Got the little colorful outline there too. I mean, we got some awesome shirts available. Look, designed by yours truly, Skywalker. I know. Leia. Even some gaming. Yes, made by me. All right, everybody. So if you want some shirts, they're there. ICCC Infinity. Echo Base Network meetup shirts. Got 2 of them, 2024. every shirt is on sale right now. Have I said shirts enough? I think that's enough about the shirts. Good Lord. Okay, what is wrong with me? Grifter. Okay, I get called everything else, so might as well just start being all those things, I guess. There are 4 ways to support us. Hey, you can go buy some shirts. Wait, just kidding. We do have a merch store, though. EBN memberships, Patreon, Super Chats, you know all that stuff. Thank you. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so at this time, let me bring in the man, the myth, the legend, the shiltacular, bald-headed wonder, Darth Simpus, Moff Rissman. Where is that mug? Man, we got so many videos in here, I can't find it. Never mind. Quite refreshing. It's quite refreshing. Hey,
I had to laugh when you're talking about that shirt. I'm like, was that from 1 or 2 merch stores ago? Because I know it's not in this merch store.
Oh, why you say that, man? Why you got to put me on blast like that? All right, that was a really good intro, but that was anticlimactic.
What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And real quick, before we get started.
What's up?
Yo, that was a great intro. Who created that?
I don't know. I would totally play an intro for Nick, but it would just be crickets going chirping.
Oh, man.
Because he's not here. He's not here
yet. Not here yet.
I was almost not here, man. Internet is acting out in this area. I don't know what's going on. I can't get internet. Now, I tried to get in on my phone because I was going to use my phone instead of my standard internet, but then my internet came out and now my phone's out. So
Oh my
I don't know
gosh.
what's going on, man.
Well, just hang in there.
California.
If it all craps out, no worries. The show will go on. It'll, no worries, man. No worries. So everybody is saying hello to the DA. So that is
What's
awesome.
up, y'all?
Look, we got a big show tonight. We're jumping right into it. We're not wasting any time. Thank you for being with us and the 15-minute delay. My daughter is doing a school project, and I had to take her to the dollar store. The dollar store didn't have marbles, so by God, we went to Walmart. They were sold out of marbles, and I got here and started digging, and I found a vintage pack of marbles that I had from decades past.
Wow.
So, anyways, I was huffing and a puffing to get here, and I'm here. No. So, anyways, I'm here. All right. I am going to hit these super chats real quick. GraphWeb with a $2 super chat. Hashtag, it's Star Wars Mom. It's Star Wars Mom, everybody. Hey, girl.
Star Wars Mom.
Great to see you. You doing okay?
I am.
Good.
Thank
All right.
you.
Good. Well, we're going. Your son put a good show together for us, so we'll do our best.
Okay.
All right. I think you need a spanking.
No, stop it.
All right.
Why are you trying to get Rissman in trouble, Coach?
Always.
GraphWeb with
my
a $2 super chat. Hashtag cancel Disney Plus. Very, very awesome. They're the most consistent man on YouTube. A lot of people be canceling Disney Plus, and it's going to continue. So, hey, they're like number 4 in the streaming wars right now.
Yeah.
Honestly,
they're
they're obviously behind Netflix, Amazon Prime, and
maybe
Max.
Max? Yeah.
Yep.
But now that they added Hulu, and they're going to try to rope Hulu in, I think that's their strategy to boost Disney Plus up.
Well, now they're bundling themselves together with Max of all things.
Yeah,
right?
that
so,
too.
I mean, the more
I
it's
think
things
that's gonna,
change, the more they stay the same.
I don't think that's gonna help them at all. I have a feeling that's not gonna do much at all, if anything.
Yep. Well, GraphWeb, thank you, brother. We greatly appreciate that. Rogue Sarge with a $20 super chat. Hello, everyone at EBN. Thank you, Rogue Sarge. I went to the gym after school. I did 30 minutes on the treadmill. Didn't get to lift because I didn't have time. But look at these forearms, baby. I can miss a day of lifting. It's okay. You know, I eat my spinach. Okay.
Like Popeye. I was just about to say some Popeye forms,
It's
man.
cookies.
So-
The cookies coming into the mouth. It's the cookies.
Oh, is that where it's at? Okay. Lifting in that cookie platter. Okay,
Wow. I cannot wait for the summer to get here. I am going to shut you up. I am going to shut you up. I promise. All right. But anyways, I noticed Bobby was the first person to like my really bad picture on the treadmill. I was like, summertime's almost here. I cannot wait. Let's go. So anyways, thank you, Bobby. You were an inspiration to me. My brother has lost over 100 pounds, and he's coming out with content on his channel. So go support the Rogue Sarge, guys, and can't wait to hang out with you, Bobby, in Nashville. Mattuine, member for 25 months with a member chat. Hope you didn't get much damage down there last night, Coach. See you next weekend. Can't wait. We get to go watch the Transformers 40th anniversary in the movie theater. The first 3 episodes of the cartoon series, a little table reading action, some special videos. It's a special event. And man, it's really going to take me back being able to go see Transformers in the theater another time. Jedi Master Lawrence with a $5 super chat. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Hope you get spoiled, and happy Mother's Day to the mums. Love you all. It is Teacher Appreciation Week. Thank you, Jedi Master Lawrence. We appreciate that. They have fed us well. I am being as disciplined as possible. I will tell you this morning, I rolled up on the bus or in the bus, and we had a mobile coffee bus. Like all the teachers got a free coffee, whatever they wanted.
Like a food truck that serves like coffee
Exactly.
and donuts.
It's exactly what it was. So I roll up on the bus. They're not paying me any attention as they're all standing there just talking, mostly a bunch of ladies. I go, "Arr!" And they all started running around like a bunch of chickens, man. And I laughed. They were so mad at me. And come to find out, one of our ladies was an Air Force captain and served in Afghanistan. And she was having PTSD from the alarms last night because we had all these tornadoes. And she said, "You got me good, Coach. You got me good." Anyways, she was the only one I felt bad for. I took her back to the war. But thank you, Jedi Master Lawrence. And speaking of Jedi Master Lawrence, she gifted 10 Echo Base Network memberships. So thank you, Erica, for gifting that. And if you are one of those 10 new members, please say thank you to Jedi Master Lawrence. Members, please throw up emojis in chat right now. Let's see what emojis you got. Thank you so much, guys. You are Echo Base Network. I'm going to play this video for all of your support, and we'll be right back and get this thing started. Okay, it is now time. I'm not talking about shirts anymore. It is time to get into this stuff. I don't know if the DA has had a chance to watch this. I have not. Rissman let me know that it came out just a few mere hours ago. So we're going to get a true blue reaction here. Lucasfilm, the channel Lucasfilm, not Star Wars. They came out with a little trailer video ad that's 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It says Lucasfilm, story drives everything. And you know what's funny? I didn't even know that they had a channel.
Oh, yes.
148,000 subscribers. Lucasfilm. They don't do very much. They don't do very much on that channel.
Not.
But with all that being said, let's see what this is about. Lucasfilm story drives everything. And I'm going to have to pause it every few seconds for the copyright. Let me know if you could hear it.
Nope.
Every time, dude. Every time. It's like Nick when he first comes on. His mic is always muted. You can count on it. All right, here we go. Lucasfilm story drives everything. So we're getting a bunch of behind-the-scene clips from Star Wars right now. Ah, okay.
Story drives everything that we do.
Who's that talking? That's voice.
Kathy.
I've never heard that voice
Kathy.
before. You don't hear that voice very often, do you? What did she say? Story drives everything.
Drives everything that we do. It's the most important place to start.
You're always on the verge of that moment with the right story, with the right moment in time, and the right people.
The idea that you get to wake up every day and work on something that you love with people that are extraordinarily talented, that share a common vision.
Fade in.
It's quite remarkable.
We mix the technology and the art together. That just opens the door for different kinds of creative storytelling opportunities.
You have the opportunity to work side by side with people who pioneered an entire industry. People who've got that passion, that audacity to think that there is no story point or imagery that is asked of us that we won't be able to figure out.
It's an extremely exciting time in the evolution of visual effects. And ILM is there to support those creative ambitions.
We want to really find those solutions that work for the design and also for the story.
You really feel like you're not just a technical part of the process. You're a real artistic contributor to the story.
Every show allows you an opportunity to come up with something that no one's ever seen before. So we always try to push ourselves.
It is just wonderful to be at a company where we keep raising the bar.
You do? What bar? You must be on the playground, because I don't know what the hell bar you talking about.
Exactly. Our intention is always, let's build a really exciting space for storytelling. And if a game company, an animated series wants to play in this new space, we'll have those creative conversations.
Look, Shadow Knight just nailed it. So far, I'm not seeing any sequel stuff. Just OT, PT, and shows.
There's been a little. There's been a little.
What is it we want to say to the world, and how do we want to use Star Wars to say that? Anything that we can do that can bring people together.
Hold up. What did she just say? Hold up. This is coded messaging right here. Tell me I'm wrong.
What is it we want to say to the world, and how do we want to use Star Wars to say that?
There it is. So it's not about story. It's about what you want to say to the world. And that's her speciality, by the way. Rain, whatever her name is. Roberts or something.
Anything that we can do that can bring people together.
Yeah, because you've definitely done that. They excel at bringing us together as we ratio their ass.
Feels like an honor to be a part of.
Everybody around the whole world, they can look at something in Star Wars and see themselves there in that
diversity.
That galaxy. We wanted to make this adventure one that you will never forget. It all works best if you have a good story.
All right, kid. You ready for an...
Our DEI initiative and everything else that we do works best when there's a good story, which we haven't been giving you. So we're going to fix that.
Right.
Adventure?
That was absolute gobbledygook nothingness.
Okay, real quick. Nick said I had an echo. I'm going to dip out and I'm going to come back.
No,
it's not you. It's not you. It's me.
It's because when he shares his whole system to play the audio on the video, it makes us echo.
Yeah. Nick said something to you?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
I saw it in the chat. He said the DA has an echo. But I don't know. You guys don't hear an echo?
No, you're good. It's only when I share the screen.
It's only when he's sharing his whole system for the audio.
Okay. So yeah, that was a bunch of nonsense.
So what was the purpose? What do we think the purpose of that was? Who was that for?
Hey, we're Lucasfilm and we're for everybody. And we are what made Star Wars great.
Yeah.
And that's true. That's true.
They're also what makes Star Wars terrible.
Yeah.
They're also what makes Star Wars unwatchable. And that's the problem is that what that woman said is that what stories, what did she say again? What stories do we want to tell? How do we want to use Star Wars to do it? It's like basically against the agenda. Star Wars is a vehicle for an agenda. That's how they see it.
And a lot of people just skip right over that when she says it because it's one of those things that just, it almost doesn't mean anything.
Well, and also the images, it's very cagey, right? The images that are, your eyes are very focused on the images that are going behind. And so unless you're really listening to the words, it's very distracting. And that's why I'm like, what is it? I don't know what the purpose is. I put another little one there. It's called We Do the Impossible. There isn't any messaging in that one. It's just more behind the scenes stuff, you know, about what they feel like they do best and how they excel at their craft, which is what I thought they should be telling us, right? If you want to put out an advertisement, if you're recruiting people, I don't know what you're doing, but tell us what you do great. Why would we want to work for you? You know, what are the benefits? That's why I'm not quite sure I understand what that first one really was all about.
This is new. The thumbs down button says disabled by owner. I have never seen that.
And also the like. It's just there's no number, right? Like.
And I've got the whole the program to show me the ratio. It's not working. Well, hey, it says, well, it worked, so screw them. Yeah, I'm just liking it for multiple reasons. We lost the DA.
He thinks it's the echo. I think the echo, but it's not.
He just got snapped.
Oh, maybe his internet.
Yeah, he just got snapped. He got Thanos snapped.
Yeah.
Oh. DA, come back. We're going to go on mission and save you. Okay. Man. Looking at these comments. Man, they're pretending like Willow doesn't exist, huh? That is really funny. Story drives off a cliff. Yeah. Disabled the dislike button. That is really funny to me. You know, this video is worth a breakdown. It really is for a video, not a live stream, but you know, very interesting.
Yeah, that's why I say it just came across earlier. They put that one out, and then they put another one called We Do the Impossible, right? Another couple of minutes. Again, it's more behind the scenes. There's not a lot of talking. There's one gal talking about how they accomplish things and why it's special, which I found more appealing than this first one. The first one is meh. The images were good.
Do we want to watch the second one?
Watch the second one if you want.
Let's do it. I'm down for that. So here's the next one. Now, what channel did this one come out on?
Same.
Lucasfilm. Hey. Oh. Okay. We'll subscribe again. All right, here we go. Challenging the impossible.
The word that comes to mind when I think of people at Lucasfilm and ILM and Skywalker Sound is fearless. There is a rebellious heart in everyone, which is probably appropriate.
It was interesting. Just them images of faces that just asked to see. Go back a little bit. And then play it.
There is a rebellious heart in everyone, which is probably appropriate.
What are you pointing
at? It seemed like they highlighted a diverse group of faces, right?
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time.
And a lot of that came from George. George was told Star Wars wasn't a makeable film, so he built up this company of people who had the audacity to think it was possible. That spirit remains in the company. The community.
A lot of people walking around.
brings together all sorts of people. We have artists, we have sculptors, we have painters, we have computer scientists, we have rocket scientists, we have business majors, we have writers. You know, it's such an amazingly diverse group of skills. They all have this passion and this fearlessness and this support of each other. As with any company that is in the creative field, there are obviously challenges of the unknown. Taking on something that is impossible, it's thrilling. That same passion goes into animated storytelling, the games that we make, and the books that we publish. VR and AR experiences that allow people to literally step into Star Wars and experience stories in so much more of an immersive way. At ILM, we look for work that scares us. We look for work that we haven't done before. It is a challenge to constantly pull that off.
I kind of have an issue with what she's saying. We look for work we've not done before. We look for only work that scares us. And it's a challenge to pull that off. She's acting like they're successful in that. Come on, man. This is propaganda.
But it's also what drives us.
They do the impossible. I mean, from one standpoint, I think the pioneering in special effects and a lot of people now are using the stagecraft technology or some version of that, which they did help, again, blaze the trail on. So some of it I get. Some of the rest of it, I think they're being overshadowed by other companies and other places like Apple TV Plus and Prime Video, who are doing a better mix, in my opinion, of physical sets, propping, and virtual reality and some of the other VR walls and stuff that feels more authentic to me. So I'm not, and I know ILM does do that. They do that for other people too sometimes, but I don't think they're as much out in front anymore as they used to be. It's my opinion.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, that's the two videos that Lucasfilm released today. So, all right, let's bring the rest of the team in here and see if they were watching that and see what they think. Nick is now with us, and the DA is back.
What's going on?
Yeah. So I watched both of them. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing where they're talking about bringing people together. Like you guys are driving people apart, not bringing nobody together. You're freaking making people walk away. And then the Dave Filoni comment of, you can see yourself in these stories. I don't go watch movies to see myself in them. I go to escape reality in myself and people around me. Like, I don't watch Lord of the Rings and be like, oh, I can't see myself in these films. It's just, I just don't like them. I can't see myself. Who goes to movies to want to see themselves in there? Like,
I sure don't.
Yeah, you go to. How do I sound? By the way, do I sound all right?
You good?
Yeah,
good?
It's Coach's screen share that I don't know why it does that for him. If I screen share,
my internet went out. That's the problem that I had. Okay. I'm having internet issues, so I jumped on my phone just so I can continue. But yeah, I mean, it's the storytelling. Lucasfilm can try to say they bringing people together all they want to, but really it's just a lack of good storytelling, a lack of good characters, pandering to an audience that doesn't exist. That's the problem. That's the major problem over there. And that's why it doesn't really matter until they fire all of these people what happens. They're never going to get it right. They'll have some one-offs that will do well, but overall, they're just going to suck out loud. That's just the way it is. I made this point. They talk about, they like to hype up Star Wars, and, they like to say that Star Wars is the thing, but they also have, like Willow, and they also have Indiana Jones. I mean, what have they done with those two franchises? Nothing. You know, they destroyed. I mean, they absolutely destroyed what was left of, you know, Willow. Like nobody, I don't think anybody cares about that. And then they just embarrassed Harrison Ford in his final film. So, yeah, in my opinion, you know, that company is you know, it's about as damaged as it gets.
Yeah, I never even watched a single episode of Willow. And now I never will be able to because it's not even on Disney Plus anymore. And Indiana Jones, I never saw that movie either, and I'll never watch it.
That's Star Wars.
No,
Mom and I watched.
you're not missing
Willow.
anything.
We watched Willow all the way to the end. There was parts of it that were hard to watch. There were parts of it that were fine. Generally speaking, it wasn't great, right? It wasn't as great as Willow should have been. It didn't surprise us that it didn't get renewed. Just a shame.
Matt, how'd you feel about the end credits in Willow with the modern day like Metallica and like modern day music?
You know what?
Why would you put this in here?
The sad thing about the music is it actually crept into the episodes themselves. So they did as it went on, it crept out of the credits into action sequences and different parts of it. And it was tough. That part of it to me was tough. I give me fantasy music. Give me Willow music.
And you know what's funny is that when right before Willow came out, I said, you know what, Disney has a golden opportunity because the same year we got The Rings of Power and we got House of the Dragon, both dropping these high fantasy type films, and they're more or less made for older adults. Not necessarily, Rings of Power. I mean, I guess some kids maybe could watch that, but it's kind of highbrow. Like, people aren't really going to bring their kids to watch that. But then you have Willow, which is a great entry, like kind of gateway series for kids. And, kids could have gotten into high fantasy, and it's like, hey, you don't have House of the Dragon. We're not about to let you watch House of the Dragons, kids. All right. And, maybe you won't be as excited for The Rings of Power, but here's Willow. It's high fantasy. It's the same kind of type of genre, and people would have they could have introduced their kids. If you're a fan of fantasy, high fantasy, you could have introduced your kids and had Willow be kind of the gateway into that type of a story, and they just completely blew it by trying to make it go, I guess, number one, super woke, but then also introducing all of this dumb rock music in it. Like, why? What does that have to do with fantasy? It was the dumbest move I've ever seen. And they just completely blew it. So, they just completely canceled the series. It's off Disney Plus. You can't even watch it now.
Yeah, the best thing I think they put on Disney Plus so far, fantasy with the children's spin, was the Percy Jackson series that they put out. And I don't even think they did that. I think 20th Century did that. I think they just showed it on
I do
Disney
too.
Plus.
Mm-hmm.
But that's got to pick up for a second season. That was enjoyable enough, and it really, it was kid focused clearly. So that was an accidental win, I think.
The Dark Crystal series was decent.
Which one?
The Dark Crystal.
I never saw it. That was on Netflix, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right. And then Netflix canceled it.
Yeah. And then the other one they did was the Goosebumps, right? Again, kid focused. That was okay, and that got to pick up for a second season as well. But you don't hear anyone talking about those, and you don't see them advertising about them. You think they would count those as some kind of win, then they don't say nothing about them.
Yeah, I just think it's a huge missed opportunity for Lucasfilm to get something else going other than Star Wars, and they just dropped the ball on both of those other properties. It's a huge miss.
Well, they got the ball rolling, and it's called the Acolyte, which we're going to go next. But before we do, got some chats here to hit. Chad Admiral Thrawn, member for 9 months. Hello, birthday is tomorrow. The Chad Admiral turns 30. Chad Admiral Thrawn, happy birthday, my friend. This is for you.
The Empire wishes you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, my friend.
Birthday.
Let's see. We also have Rob writes Gen X pop culture. Hail, Rob.
Hail,
for
Rob.
$4.99. He says, fun nerd question. Who wins in a fight between Rambo, Dutch, Martin Riggs, John McClane, and John Wick?
Oh, man. Golly. If it's in a office building,
Well,
Wait, are we talking hand-to-hand fight?
It doesn't say if they're in an office building. It just says
yeah.
Are we talking hand-to-hand combat, like a fight, fist fight, or are we just talking, like guns and knives and all the weapons? See, we also have to add that, because otherwise, if it's weapons, I'm going John Wick all the way.
Yeah, same. If it's weapons, I'm going to say John Wick. If it's just hand-to-hand, Dutch from Predator.
Yeah, I was going to say Dutch from Predator also.
I think you're all wrong. I'm going to go Dutch Predator, no matter the weapon, because he's the only one who beat the Predator. The Predator would eat these other people.
I said Dutch.
Yeah. I would say the only reason I'd say John Wick, if there's weapons involved, because man, he's fast, man. He is fast. I don't know. The Predator wasn't that fast.
It's kind of true. Predator was sneaky.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Rob, for the question. Let's see. Donna Hergenrether gifted 5 Echo-Based Network memberships. Thank you so much, Donna. If you got one of those 5 memberships, please thank Donna. Members throw up those emojis. We appreciate it very much. Welcome aboard. Debbie Young with a $4.99 super chat. There has been huge releases of solar flares over the last 2 days causing problems with internet. I did not realize that.
How about that?
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, thank you, Debbie. We'll have to look for that. That's pretty cool. And last but not least, Rob writes Gen X pop culture again. Here's another fun question. Who wins in a fight between Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Frank Dukes, Joe Armstrong, and Snake Eyes?
Ooh.
Ay.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm going Snake Eyes.
I was gonna go Snake Eyes also.
I'm going Bruce Lee.
Yeah, Bruce Lee was my second.
Bruce Lee 2.
Not Chuck Norris.
Well, for the meme, it would be Chuck Norris, right? If we were memeing the answer, it would have to be Chuck.
Norris. Right.
I mean, Chuck Norris is the only guy that can get feminists to make him a sandwich.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bruce Lee.
So 2 Bruce Lees and 2 Snake Eyes. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, not Chuck Norris. I'd love to say Chuck Norris, but we saw him get tapped out by one of the Gracie brothers in the 1990s. So it's on camera. He didn't know a thing about grappling. Standing up fighting, sure. Chuck Norris can ball, but getting down on the mat and getting choked out, not cool.
Yeah, he's not a grappler.
And that's basically street fighting,
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Rob. That's another very interesting question, my friend. Who you got, chat? Let us know in the comments. Chuck Norris destroyed the periodic table because he only recognizes the element of surprise.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right, guys. Well, that catches us all up. So we saw on May the 4th, the Acolyte trailer dropped.
Oh, man.
Now, I'm not going to play it. We've already seen enough video here today so far. Is there an echo now that I'm sharing this? Because I'm sharing this a different way.
Hello? No, it's good this time.
Oh, yeah.
I guess then I'll have to start doing it this way then. So, official trailer for Star Wars The Acolyte has been released. Gentlemen, what were our thoughts about the trailer? Was it as bad as you had anticipated? I'll just go ahead and say this. I don't know if anybody here watched my reaction. I had literally just did a complete Tales of the Empire breakdown. While I'm recording that video, this trailer drops, so I have to turn right around, watch it, do a reaction, make a video about it as well. And look, I mean, it's just a trailer. I get it. They're not going to reveal everything, but the trailer was fine. It didn't look terrible. Now people are going to say, well, of course it didn't look terrible. Star Wars trailers always looks good. The Last Jedi trailer was great. I never thought The Last Jedi trailer was great. That's the one that said, where Luke said, the Jedi must end. And everybody was like, what the freak is he talking about? Which should have been our first clue, by the way. So look, I thought the trailer was fine, but I guess you guys can come after me like people in the comments did to my reaction video saying that I've turned to the dark side and now all of a sudden I'm a shill and all of these things. I just judged a 2.5-minute trailer for what it was, what I saw. And that was it. I didn't see any same-sex couples kissing. I didn't see somebody pretending to be something that they're not. I didn't see white man bad. I just saw a trailer. And what I saw was fine.
You didn't see white man bad because there was no white man in it.
it was, to me, it was just a whole lot of just generic trailer stuff shoved into Star Wars, and I honestly, it didn't make me want to watch the show anymore. Just kind of like, all right, whatever, it's just stuff you see in a trailer, but it wasn't anything that told me much about what this show is going to be. It didn't build my anticipation or hype. It didn't make me think, oh man, this might actually be pretty good. It didn't do anything to help this series out. It was just there. It's just there. It's just a trailer. Like you said, it's just a trailer.
Yeah.
Well, and I like the fact that they finally showed someone who's Sithy, right? I mean, we finally got, all right, he's in a mask, fine. But finally, if it's a show about the Sith and you never show me or at least this time they showed me a Sith, and a few other things that I thought looked.
Did you say it showed you a simp? Because that's what I thought. I saw a gimp. That dude was in the gimp mask.
And don't misrepresent and misgender him, Matt. You don't know if it's a he or not. It could be a they, them, or you got to be careful about these days.
Wasn't it tells the Empire? Wasn't it tells the Empire? This is the Acolyte. Showed a Sith. And like some of the other effects looked decent enough, right? There was a space effect that I thought looked cool. Some of the practical effects looked cool. So that was fine.
Well, we don't know what all's happening with this show. We know that Leslie Headland has, in interviews, talked about, an acolyte isn't the master, isn't the apprentice. It's the person beneath the apprentice, which would be like your Asajj Ventress type character. And what they're saying is that Amanda Stenberg's character is the acolyte. And the person that we see in the mask with the red saber, the theory is that person is the apprentice to a greater Sith Lord. Am I right, Ms. Rissman?
That's what we think, or some of us think, that's not even the big bad Sith. That's the Sith's apprentice. And the character that Amanda is playing is the acolyte.
Yeah, and a little bit more about the series. Amanda Stenberg's character that we see in the film is apparently, the theory, a twin. And the twin was the good to her bad. And the twin is dead, has been killed. So there is this balance between the good and the evil there with the two sisters. Much like the daughter and the son in the Mortis arc. I don't know. What do you guys, do you have any hope at all? And before you answer that question, Rissman gave me an update today saying that the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte will be seen on the silver screen.
At least Cinemark seems to be showing them as an event on the 3rd. So the series officially starts on the 4th. And I think it may be because there's a counter again on StarWars.com. So it looks like it's again going to be 9 p.m. Eastern for the series. So I guess if you do see it in the Cinemark on the 3rd, whatever time they're showing it, you'll see it early. They haven't posted the times yet, and they got a 2-hour time span to see the first 2 episodes, but that just circulated today because I guess someone was poking around somewhere.
So get to go watch the first 2 episodes the day before on the big screen. Yes or no, guys?
Hell no.
Oh, that's a big no from me. There ain't no chance in the world I'm paying not 1 cent to just see this thing.
No. Yeah. I mean, if we didn't even have this channel, I wouldn't even watch it for free.
Right.
I'm gonna have fun roasting this thing because it's gonna.
Well,
be
you
hot
can't roast it if
garbage.
you don't watch it.
Exactly. That's why I said.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
I don't have
fun
to pay
watching
money
it.
to watch it. I
Yeah,
know
but-
how to watch this thing for free.
Yeah, I'm not paying money to go.
Well,
see
and
this.
I'm already paying to watch it on the 4th, so I'm certainly not going to pay more to watch it.
Yeah, like
That's
extra
true.
money to watch
That's
this.
true. Yeah. I don't know, man. There's something about seeing it on
Coach,
the
you sound
3rd.
excited, man. You sound like you're ready for this thing.
I'm excited to watch it and review it and get my thoughts out there, whether I'm trashing it or saying, hey, I'm pleasantly surprised. You know, here's the thing. If I were betting, there's no doubt what I would bet. That this is going to be what we all think it's going to be. But we've been wrong before. Hadn't been wrong a lot, but we've been wrong before. We were wrong. I was wrong recently. I just knew that I knew X-Men 97 was going to be woke garbage. We had every reason to believe it. All the tabloids were telling us. Look what they did to Morph.
Yeah.
They made Morph a non-binary. The showrunner is LGBTQIA+. He had an OnlyFans. Now he's kicked off the show for some freaky stuff. Like, we had all the reasons in the world to think this show was going to be trash, and it has been awesome.
Yeah, it's been.
And we're
it's been
9
good.
episodes in.
Yep. Yeah,
And honestly, doesn't that just go to show that we're not, like you said, the guy's LGBTQ's got his OnlyFans, all of this stuff about the showrunner, it would be something that would just instantaneously turn, a lot of folks off or whatever. But the show is great, and that's all that matters. That's the only thing we care about. We could care less who this guy is, what his, ideology, how he lives his life. Hey, are you giving us a good show? Yeah. All right, I'm in. That should go to show everybody that it's not about the crap that they say. Oh, you just don't like people that belong to this group or that group. No, we don't like the trash you're doing to our content.
Yeah.
That's what we don't like. So make good content, and we don't care who's making it. We don't care who's behind it all, as long as it's good.
Well, and while I don't disagree with anything you just said, Derek, the problem is some people chose not to give the series a chance because of all the things that were being said about it beforehand.
Yeah.
Whether it was
now,
more,
now a lot of
whether it
people
was
by word of mouth are going and checking it out.
only now,
but
Nick, because we're
Yeah.
almost
see-
done. Because we're almost
But see,
done.
the
and we're like,
reason
okay,
is because we have seen years upon years upon years upon years of the message and the agenda being shoved in. And so everybody's coming in with the guard up. Like, oh, this looks like another one of these. So I'm not going to give it a shot. I'll have to wait and see what happens afterwards. Before, 6, 7, 8 years ago, we probably would have been jumped in. Hey, oh yeah, X-Men 97, let's go. We would have been excited about this. Now our guard is up because we've been burned
everything.
so many times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Well,
get you what you're saying, Rissman, but it's like that's how I look at it anyway. Like,
Yeah.
we're not giving stuff a chance because they haven't earned it. They've destroyed so many franchises and so much that they don't get that benefit of the doubt now.
So I'm going to have to say that I really do think that Star Wars has learned from their mistakes. They really are turning the corner.
Oh, look at Coach.
Oh, I'm serious. Like, if you look at this, I'm being dead serious. If you look at this next picture, if this doesn't just scream to you Star Wars is saved, I don't know what would. You were truly a black pill. There's no hope for you.
Yeah.
Because that's what's coming next, guys. That's what we get Christmas. That's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen,
I would rather watch this.
Yeah. Ewoks animated.
I know you're being facetious, but I have to tell you, with Phil Tippett coming back and then bringing Matt Painter out, and if they've given the series care and feeding, I'd much rather watch Jude Law do anything.
Yeah, it's about all the kids.
The concept. I prefer the concept for the Acolyte over the concept for Skeleton Crew.
But you know what? I mean, all right, so here's the thing.
John Watts.
I look at Skeleton Crew like this truly is a last-ditch effort to try to reach the younger generation that they have failed to, because look at that right there. And if I was a 7-year-old kid, I'd probably be all about this show right here. If it was outer space, science fiction, space fantasy, like anything remotely resembling Star Wars in space with kids like this. And this looks to me like it's going to be like a Time Bandits intergalactic story that could be appealing for a younger audience. For me, in my mid-40s, sitting here looking at this picture, that's going to be hard. Like, guys,
that's going to be a hard watch.
This show doesn't have all the extras that like the Acolyte has with it, but the Acolyte might be an easier watch than this. Maybe.
I'm in the other camp, actually. I think Skeleton Crew is going to be a really easy watch. I think it's going to be campy. I think it's going to be things that we might enjoy because it's going to remind us of stuff that we enjoyed in our childhood. It's a guess, right? We've heard a little bit more. John said it was
Goonies. They said it was Goonies in space. That's what I've heard.
So he clarified. Now they asked him, "What is this?" And he said, the kids are out on their boring planet. They find a buried spaceship. They enter the spaceship. They're poking around. Somehow they activate it. It takes off. And the whole show is about them trying to get back home as a result of where the spaceship takes them.
So it's like Star Trek Voyager, but in Star Wars.
Well, kind of. Or Prodigy. I think the newer series Prodigy. It's like a few other things. So I'm not sure Goonies in space is necessarily an accurate depiction, but that's what the premise is. And I have to assume they encounter the pirates along the way. They encounter Jude Law along the way, and it's all about them trying to get back home.
Yeah. I guess what I was thinking when it came to Goonies, because about pirates, Goonies had a lot of a big pirate theme to it. And it's kids on a misadventure. Maybe not necessarily a one-to-one correlation, but it's it's not like kids looking for buried treasure or anything like that. But it's kids on an adventure, coming in contact with adults that maybe want to hurt them, do them harm, and they have to band together. Blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, it sounds like it could be fun. You're right. It sounds like it could be a lot of fun if it's that. And Jude Law is kind of like the chaperone, I guess, in this case, or maybe he stumbles upon. I don't know. It just, to me, I'm not looking forward to it. I guess if there were more kids that looked like, I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of it. I just don't know, but it doesn't strike me as something that's going to be great, And if it did have that Goonies feel or vibe, maybe I just got to wait for a trailer. Maybe that's what I need. I need a trailer to see exactly what this is going to be.
I just want it to be fun. I don't think I want it to be great, right? I just want it to be fun.
Man, I'll take that.
I do like Rissman's point about Phil Tippett and stop motion. I think that is a good point for a Star Wars fan of old. No doubt about that they're bringing him back and with the old school matte paintings and using practical effects somewhat. I think that's pretty awesome that they're doing that. But I guess one of the parts that concerns me, and I saw a really funny comment a second ago that made me think of, right here. Coach just wants a Boba Fett season 2. So here's the thing. We're getting the space pirates in this Skeleton Crew show.
And we're getting Urkel as a pirate, don't forget.
Are the Urkel.
The guy who plays Urkel is going to be a pirate.
Yeah.
Did I steal that? I don't think he's going to say.
Did I do that?
He's going to be. He's going to be in it apparently.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say. I wonder if they're bringing Tim Rose back with Phil Tippett coming back.
I don't know, but the thing is like. Are the space pirates compelling antagonists for a story? Or are they going to be the main antagonist or just one of? I don't know.
Well, and we know one of the pirates that's confirmed is the only pirate that got away from the guy with all the the seaweed on his face when all that went awry. The one guy who said, "Forget about you, I'm out of here."
Yeah,
he is in this. So I didn't find him particularly compelling in the last thing he was in. So if he's in it as pseudo antagonist or somewhat comic relief, or I don't know what, that could be okay. Yeah. Pirates are in right now, so it doesn't really surprise me that they're doing something again Pirates-esque. And the fact that this is a Christmas release now also gives me I think it's going to have a certain whimsy, right? And I've seen some, and if that has an appeal that we've been missing, I think that's fine. I think the Acolyte is going to have a very dark appeal to it. I think there's going to be some unexpected. I think there's going to be some things that happen in the Acolyte that people are not going to like so much, just because it's going to be a bit of a downer as far as the series goes. And this is probably going to be the upper, right? I mean, I think this is going to be just the foil to what they're trying to accomplish in the Acolyte. Because again, I think they're trying to broaden the appeal.
Sure. Well, we got some super chats to hit real quick. Konshu66 with a $28 super chat. Thank you, sir. The Sith and dark side users called the Jedi scum, traitors, and murderers, talking about the Acolyte. But we somehow are to believe in Tales of the Empire that an Inquisitor would call a Jedi by their woke pronouns in some sort of act of respect. Nick, you covered that very thing. And first of all, thank you, Konshu66, for that incredible, generous super chat. Thank you so much. Guys, I watched Tales of the Empire, and that one slipped right by me. I didn't even notice it. And
me too at first.
The thing is like I really enjoyed the series way more than I thought I was going to. And I've been called every name in the book here in the past week because of some of the videos that I've made. Guys, I'm not going to apologize because they came out with an animated series that I thought was pretty good. It's like people felt betrayed because I said, hey, I really enjoyed this. But with that being said, if I had caught the whole they-them thing, it definitely would have lost some points, and I didn't. Nick, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I covered this earlier this week, and I got a little bit of pushback where people were trying to say, well, they're talking about there's a whole group of them up in the mountains, all that sort of thing. So I was like, well, let me go watch the whole thing in context. No. It was not them talking about a group of people. You have one Jedi that looks a mix between a man and a woman with the jawline and structure of the face and all that sort of stuff. I can't tell if it's a man or a woman. It's one individual, and they use pronouns of they, them with this one person 5 times in the matter of about 2 minutes. This is 100% respect the pronouns in here. There's no other way to spin it. There was no other people there. They were dealing with one person, one individual, and they were using they, them pronouns 5 times. F this show. I don't care anything about watching it. I don't care if it was the best show on earth. I don't care anything about the characters in it anyways. But we're going to get more and more of this. Disney is going to keep doubling down with this nonsense crap. And I'm not going to be surprised if we see it in the Acolyte either. Hell, we might see it in Skeleton Crew.
You said it happened 5 times?
5 times.
Well, yeah, because Barriss and the Fourth Sister were conversing about the Jedi, and so they kept referring to them and they and them, just in the space of their sentences as they were walking away. Then it was over.
So they're not necessarily talking about an individual, are they? I'm confused.
They're talking about the one individual that was there. There was nobody else there.
Yep. I saw that scene, and it was pretty clear what they were doing, what they were talking about when it came to that particular scene. I haven't watched. I've seen like that. I think what episode is that? Because I saw the first 2 episodes, and that's as far as I got with Tales of the Empire. Is it the third
Four.
episode?
Third or four, 3 or 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I haven't seen the actual episode yet, but I saw that scene because people kept sending it to me. Oh, what do you think? I'm like, all right, let me look at it. And I'm like, yeah, pretty guys.
It must have been five.
It is what it is. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that in the Acoloyte.
It only happened in the Barris arc, right?
Episode 5, when they felled the Jedi. The Jedi.
And you know what? You can see it in my review. I was looking forward to the Barris arc, and I trashed their decision to do Morgan Elsbeth. And Morgan Elsbeth's arc was excellent. I thought Barris's was just okay. So how about that?
I'm with you. I was very disappointed, and it just kind of ended dumb to me. I just found the ending dumb. Overall, I thought the series was a great thing for them to put on May the 4th. I was glad to have watched it, but I much preferred Morgan Elsbeth's arc to Barris's. And then, yeah, I'm with you, Coach. Disappointed there.
All right. Sucker Free wants to know if Rissman and Coach are undercover Disney shields.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
If a shield means Mega Riz and a sexual Tyrannosaurus, then I'm guilty.
You know, Coach. Anytime you like anything these days, you're a shill. So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. So here it is. Hadn't had the opportunity to talk about this with anybody. Is this desperation? Is Gina Carano coming out basically begging Disney to take her back in spite of her only $75,000 lawsuit, according to the media? Gina Carano assures fans there is no animosity towards Disney, and she is open to working with Star Wars again. Carano claims that she only spoke out to inform people of the situation, and she is willing to move forward positively. The lawsuit seeks $75,000 damages and possible rehiring, but Disney is currently invoking First Amendment rights. I'd like to get Nick's opinion on this first. Do you respect her take or in this at all, Nick? What do you think?
As far as her being willing to come back, I mean, I think the main reason for that, and this is of course just speculation on my part, is because of her fans and the fans of the character and the people that she actually worked with outside of the corporate structure of Lucasfilm and Disney, that she actually had good relationships with. I think those are the two reasons why she'd want to go back, because she liked working with the people that she was working with outside of the corporate structure people. And, you know, she knows that there's a lot of Cara Dune fans out there. And, you know, I can respect her decision for that, you know, and of course that's her decision to be made. If I was in her shoes, I would be like, kick rocks. I'm not ever going back working for that company. I wouldn't want to go back. I'd be like, you know, you like that character, go watch the episodes again.
Yeah, what about the point that says Gina Carano assures fans there is no animosity towards Disney?
I mean, you know, on that comment, you know, maybe she's just trying to be the bigger person and be like, look, I'm trying to let everybody aware of this, but honestly, I don't really give a crap. I don't have any like ill will towards them or whatever. Me, on the other hand, I would definitely have animosity towards them. I mean, they basically twisted my words into something it wasn't, and then trashed me out there publicly. I mean, what does somebody have to do for you to have any kind of animosity towards them? I mean, if that's not enough, I mean, how much further do they have to go?
I mean, her brand, and I don't believe and I believe it's authentic, right? Her brand is don't hold hate in your heart for Disney, for anyone else, right? Live with peace and love. And I mean, some of it's very hippie-esque to me, right? But she has a very loving outlook on things. And personally, I'm not sure how good a job Screen Rant did or didn't do here, but I'm sure encountering these folks at a fan event, if a fan approaches her and says, would you ever come back? She's going to say, oh, you never know. I could be. Right, she's not going to crush that fan's heart and say, I'm never coming back and F Disney, and she's just not. She's not going to do that, right? It's not good for the image, and it's not good for the brand.
Yeah.
So that's why.
I covered this article, and then I think subsequently, Drunk 3PO came out and said, "Nah, it's not true. She never said." Like the way Screen Rant kind of positioned, it's almost like she said something, but there's no quote. I was looking for a quote in the article that says "quote unquote" in Gina's exact words, and it's not in the article. So it's kind of like they put the information out there, and you could kind of draw a conclusion. At least that's the way they presented it. But I think even Gina has come out since then and said, "Yeah, don't believe everything you read." Subsequent to this article. So I think. Look, as far as would Gina come back, I mean, I'll never tell anybody what to do with their career. It's their life. And I would never hold her in any kind of judgment. If she decided to come back and be a part of Star Wars again and Lucasfilm and, forgive and forget, I would never hold her in judgment because, again, it's her career. She can do whatever she wants to do with it. But, do I think she would do it? Probably not, although it is in the lawsuit that she was asking like hey, give me my job back, or at least offer her a job back. I think that's a part of the lawsuit. So if it's in the lawsuit, you kind of, will she come back, or is that a part of something that she wants? So I think it's a possibility. If I had to put a bet on it, I would bet in the opposite direction of no, she probably will never come back. But you never, like you said, you never know. You never know. And that's probably the answer that she gave at this panel that Screen Rant was talking about.
And I'm pretty sure I just saw her interview with Tucker Carlson or someone where this very same question came up, and she said, I'm not a hater, right? I love the people I worked with.
Yeah.
I love Star Wars.
True.
I love the fans. There was more for me to do in this character, right? She even alluded to the Rangers of the New Republic and things that David said. I mean, she let it all come out, right? As she was talking about all this stuff.
Here's my issue with this. If it were true, I don't know. I see what the chat's saying about whoever said this isn't true. I don't know. I'm saying if it were true, if you stand up for what you believe is right and you don't bend on principle, to go back now, like in a situation where it almost comes across like you're begging, you want $75,000. That's a school teacher salary in a year. And you go back to Star Wars, to the people who treated you like this and put you in this situation to begin with. What happened to standing up for truth or not bending on principle? It's almost like all of that was irrelevant. All that meant nothing. If it were true. I'm not saying that it is. I mean, it would be like me getting fired as a coach for having done the right things. And then 3 months later, after they put me through hell, they asked me if I'd consider coming back. Well, hell no, I won't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But we also don't know when, right? Maybe she wants that opportunity to come back after Kathy's gone, or if the conditions change, or if something happens and the climate is right, she wants to be rehireable. And I get it, right? People leave my company all the time. They want to be rehireable. Maybe they don't want to work for the same boss again, but they might love to come back under a different circumstance. So that's what I made of all of this. I don't think we'll see her back anytime soon.
Yeah.
But again, there's nothing in production anyway. What would she come back to at this point? The Mandalorian Grogu movie? She better hurry up. If she wants to get in on that one. She better hurry up.
I'm a teacher.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it as well. Like, there's really nothing to come back to. But she's given a kind of never say never, answer to that question. If people ask her, never say never, I'll never say never to anything. But the chances are, no, I'm not coming back. But she's not going to, like you said, she's not going to tell some fan hey, can you sign my Cara Dune poster? She's my favorite character in Star Wars. I idolize you. I worship you. Any chance you coming back? And no, I don't think that she would answer them like that, But you never know, and that's the thing. Like, what would it take, for instance, what if Jon Favreau was, saying, hey, I want to do Rangers of the New Republic. I have this idea. You guys just kind of shit canned it or, just got rid of it. Like, I really want to do this, but I need, Gina Carano and, I don't know. There's all kinds of things that can happen behind the scenes that we're not aware of, so I am one of these never say never kind of people because I don't know what's cooking in people's brains. Like I said, I wouldn't hold Gina in any judgment. She can do what she wants with her life. I wouldn't say, nah, you shouldn't have never came back after what they did to you, because at the end of the day, it's her life. She has to walk in her shoes, not me.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, guys, before we move on to our next topic, let's catch up on all these super chats. I don't know if we've convinced Sucker Free that we are what we are. I don't know. Sucker Free, let us know.
Fake fan. Now you're a fake fan too. Wow, we got both.
Did that just happen? Oh yeah, that was an older chat. Yeah, I'm a fake fan. Star Wars OTR. Somebody help me.
Star Wars OTR. Do they mean the Old Republic? That they maybe typo?
I bet it
Star
is.
Wars: The Old Republic, maybe.
Did that and was the plot line to a canceled game called Star Wars Eclipse, the twin duality, one light, one dark. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the Acolyte.
Acoloyte.
Or the twins.
Eclipse didn't get canceled, did it? I just haven't heard anything about it. I think it's still in development.
Well, everything is. Thank you, Erica. Debbie Young, I agree with what you're saying about expectations, but I'm going to watch The Acolyte just to see what it's going to be. I have no doubt that it's a big risk, but I'm going to do it anyway. So am I. Yep, so am I. I'm actually looking forward to it because I'm a shill. Just
Big
Nova.
fan.
1138 $4.99. If Skeleton Crew opens up children's imagination, that is a fantastic start. Lost in Space with the Goonies seems very imaginative already. Star Wars Backbone. Yeah, that could work for a lot of people. I don't like the Goonies. Never have.
What? You never liked the Goonies, Coach?
Nope.
Wow. Man, you alone on that one. Wow.
I know.
I love the Goonies, man. That was my jam coming up.
I don't know anybody that doesn't like the Goonies except me.
Now I know one, and I'm the only one.
You know what I like even less than that?
What's
that dang Andy Dufresne. Andy Dufresne. What? The Shawshank Redemption. Worst movie in the world. I cannot watch it. I cannot.
I don't even
I'd
know
rather
this
go
person.
in my
Who are
backyard
you?
and eat dog crap than watch that show.
He is a fake fan. He is a fake fan for sure.
Give me The Acolyte. All right. Anyways, thank you, Just Nova 1138. Conchu66 with a $7 super chat. Episode 5. It was 6 times. The child also told Barris they are up in the mountains. God dang! How did I miss it 6 times?
Well, it all happened so quick, right? First, the kid said they're up in the mountains, and at that time, like Nick was saying, I thought it just meant there might be more than one Jedi there. And then when there was only one, and then later. Then it all happened. And I was like, okay, it was just this one.
Hey, if they're unsubscribing, that's fine. Bye, Sickle.
Bicycle. I knew that was coming.
I'm giving my opinion. Like, are you here just because you agree with us all the time? That's why there's 2 of us. By God.
This is getting out of hand, Coach. Now there are 4 of us.
Nick's the one with all the popular thoughts and the majority opinions. Me, not so much. But I like what I like, and I don't apologize for it ever. I'm that way with people too. There's a lot of people I don't like that everybody else does, but I can smell a turd from a mile away. All right. Speaking of turds, Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh no, this is so bad.
Listen to this.
There's nothing better than to do this on Star Wars Day.
pretty amazing place to be. So we're excited.
That's the way to great. How long have you been a Dodger fan?
I've been a Dodger fan for quite a while, but I started out as a Giants fan because I grew up in Northern California. Yes, exactly. We're in the Presidio. Oh yeah, you got to be very careful about it. Right now, I'm a Dodger fan.
All right, we don't want to. We just want to see her throw the ball. Here we go. You do know what she did in high school, right?
I have no idea. I don't think I want to know.
Do you know, Derek?
I have no idea. What did she do?
She was the high school quarterback of her football team.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not making that up. I'm not making that up. She was the quarterback. Does that surprise you?
No.
Oh, here we go. So she must have a cannon for an arm, right?
Why was R2 going backwards just then? Did you see he was going? That was great.
Nice pitch, Kathleen. The horse is strong with that one.
One thing she did, other than R2 going backwards, which is funny, one thing she did confirm in that interview, the interviewer asked her what she's looking forward to that's happening next from a Star Wars perspective, and she did confirm that they were just about to start production on Mandalorian and Grogu, which was a rumor that we had that was supposed to be happening this month. So she did work that in there to what was otherwise a very awkward interview there before she threw the pitch.
Well, yeah, not really that much there. I mean, you know, it was what it was. So, last thing for Star Wars, I believe, kind of. Did you guys see the video that we showed? Mattuine sent it in. It was oh, we've been invaded by stupid people. I'm totally about to blow this thing up, man. I'm telling you. Because I did 3 videos this week. Tales of the Empire, Acolyte trailer, and Lucas's Dam Busters video. And there are so many mean-ass, sorry-ass people in the comments. I mean, it is just ridiculous. Once you have a difference of opinion, they come after you with everything that they can. And it is really tiresome. It really is. So, and I'm not talking about sucker free. I'm talking about all of it. All of it. So anyways, how's that for a mood killer?
We were doing so good too.
Anyways, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to play this video. It's a side-by-side clip of the movie Dam Busters and another one that came out in the early 60s, World War II war movies. And it's literally shot for shot, scene for scene, and almost word for word. You see it in the attack on the first Death Star. And I had never seen the actual footage next to Star Wars. I saw the trailer or the Empire of Dreams documentary decades ago. And, you know, I've seen and read a lot of the things that Lucas has said. Hell, I got the first 100 Starlog magazines down here. But seeing it was different than just knowing that Lucas took influence from other people. And I make this video and say that, and then all these people are coming after me like, oh my gosh, you didn't know that? I can't believe this channel's called Echo-Based Network and you didn't. I never said I didn't know it. I said seeing it made it different. So if you've not seen this, check it out.
Here's why.
drop a 10-ton bomb from 40,000 feet that would seal itself in the roots of the wall. Well, the shock waves would be tremendous. A real earthquake.
But could you hit a target that size from 8 miles up?
Switch to targeting computer.
Your bomb aimer keeps his eye to this little peephole. And when these 2 nails at the end of the arms are in direct alignment with the towers, then you'll be exactly 600 yards from the wall, and away goes your bomb.
All wings report. Okay, leader. Hello, Ed Mother. Are you there?
Standing by.
I'm here, leader.
Standing by.
Here, leader.
Standing by.
Here, leader.
Standing by.
Here, leader.
Standing by.
Here, leader. Here, leader.
Look at the size of that thing.
My goodness, it's big, isn't it? Can we really break that?
I'm going to cut across the axis and try and draw their fire.
I'll fly across the dam as you make your run and try and draw the flag off you. Okay, thanks, leader.
This is Gold Leader. We're starting our attack run.
I'm going into attack.
How many guns do you think, Gold 5?
Say about 20 guns. Some on the surface, some on the towers. How many guns do you think there are, Trevor? I say there's about 10 guns. Some in the field and some in the towers. It's too late, Skipper. It's too late.
Should be able to see it by now.
I reckon you should be able to see it by now. It's away!
Negative. It didn't go in.
Just impacted on the surface. It's gone! We've done it! We haven't! It's still there! Hey there!
I just lost my starboard engine.
Hey, Foxy, are you hit? Starboard wing. But we're all right. We can make it. You've got the last bomb, Les, so take your time.
Thoughts about that, gentlemen? As I said, I know his inspirations. We've made videos about his inspirations. I knew that they took World War II footage. I know that they used it for pacing. I remember all that. But seeing it like that and how closely it matched that much. Basically, the whole Death Star attack was copied from another movie that came out only about 15 years before. But I'm not a fan because Lucas said this many times back in 77 and 78.
Sounds like right out of your comments. Right out of your comments section, Coach.
Yeah. You fit in well here, Sucker Free. There are many ignorant people. So, not in the chat. That's just you, but in the comments.
So like you, Coach, I knew World War II was a big inspiration, obviously Kurosawa and all that. I had never seen these movies or these clips. I'm also probably not up on my documentaries either, I guess, then. So I thought it was interesting to see it side by side. Do I care? Not a bit, right? I mean, it doesn't diminish the movie for me at all. The fact that he copied or was inspired by, or use whatever words you want, doesn't bother me a bit.
It didn't.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of great stories have borrowed imagery or concepts, characters, arcs from stories that were written prior to and have become their own thing. So I don't see how this matters. Either you like Star Wars and you like what George Lucas gave us, or you don't. And I like what George Lucas gave us. So I don't understand. I saw everybody making a big deal out of it, and then I watched it and I was like, I don't see the point. I don't see why everybody's making a big deal about this. This seems like a giant nothing burger,
What are we talking about? A big deal out of what?
Out of the fact that he basically
copied
I don't think anybody's making a big deal out of it.
Okay.
So what happened was Mattuine sent me the clip, and it was just like, wow, I never realized. It's not news. It's not
Well, I saw some
anything-
people making a big deal online. I did see some
Really?
people on Twitter. Yeah. Oh, George, plagiarism. You know, I saw all of that nonsense going on. I was just like, yeah, all right. Okay. But no, I don't see that as being a big issue whatsoever, you know. But yeah, there were people, you know, absolutely making a big deal about that. I think for at least a good day, George Lucas was, trending for that reason.
So anybody here that thinks I would bring down the original trilogy in any way, you are so ignorant that I can't even. You just don't even know how dumb you sound. Like it's funny how dumb you are, my man. You truly are a sucker. So,
yeah, I found the clips to be interesting. I mean, I can see people making an argument of, oh, he plagiarized, he copied and pasted, and then there's an argument for the side of, hey, he was just giving homage to one of his favorite movies from, back in the day. I mean, you can look at it either way.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It didn't make the movie bad or anything. I mean, I like that whole trench run scene. It was awesome. So
yeah,
I'm telling you, Stephen. I'm telling you. So, anyways, all right. Well, guys, we've been going an hour and a half. I had other things to go through. X-Men 97, and instead of hitting articles, we'll just mention them. The latest episode of X-Men 97. Who all got to watch it?
I watched it. It's up on Patreon now. You guys can see my reaction. So the last 2 episodes I've done solo. Me and Coach will do the last one next week together to round out the end of the show. But I like how they incorporated the hang on, I gotta freaking look it up because I can't remember what the name of.
You guys are funny. Thank you for making me laugh. I got to be honest with you. I told Rissman about this earlier while Nick's collecting his thoughts. I have been seeing and receiving so much negativity and hate with Star Wars. It's like there's not a lot going on right now. So it's like the fandom is just tearing itself apart. And I'm honest, my tolerance is very low right now, and I am about sick of it. I really am. How people act. Grown-ass people acting like they're 12. And because somebody has a different opinion than them, they can't take it and they lash out and attack. I wish any of these people would walk up to me in person and say some of these things that they say to me in comments. They wouldn't last 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's the beauty of social media, right? That's the beauty of social media. That
please come see me at Icon. Please come see me at Icon. I will choke you out and then spank you.
yeah. That's pretty much the internet for you. I mean, it's never going away. I mean, hell, I've
Base
seen
Network. Even Knights of Melvin thinks you're a shield now. Well, fuck him. I don't care. Fuck. Who is he? Wear your mask and play with your toys.
Hey, Coach, you said a naughty word, man. What's going on here?
I was asking for the No-No song, but I don't have the nerve to play it. I don't have the nerve to play it.
Put it on. Put the No-No song.
I don't go when I'm watching something. I don't go, well, what's Melvin gonna think about this? Never thought that in my life. Never will, or anyone else. Oh my gosh!
You know what I do, Coach? I don't even read the comments anymore, man. I do read the comments just because I got to every a week on the DA's office, I do a comment of the week. So I kind of briefly scan the comments and find one that I like. Okay, this is a good comment. I'm gonna make some, make content off of this for just, whatever. Other than that, man, you can't really read the comments because people are just insane in the comments.
So
sometimes you just got to bypass them joints.
Yeah, and you can't let it bother you. I mean, I see comments all the time. I'm just like, all right, cool. It's like just water right off my back. It just it doesn't bother me at all. You can't let it get to you. But X-Men number 25, Fatal Attraction, which came out in 1997, and here we are, X-Men 97, and they're using that same storyline with Magneto ripping the adamantium out of Wolverine. And then he ends up with the bone claws and stuff. So I thought that was cool. I thought it was another great episode. Is this a perfect show? No, I got some issues with it, but they're minor. They're nitpicky minor. Overall, I think the show's really good. And I thought it was going to be trash. So yeah, one episode left. We'll see how it ends. I mean, they could completely ruin it in the last episode, and maybe season 2 will completely suck and be woke trash, garbage. But so far, in these first 9 episodes, it's pretty good.
Oh, Lou. Sorry, Lou. Lou's like, no, I haven't finished it yet. I guess it's a spoiler now. Oops.
So I haven't even started it yet, but I'm excited that this is doing well. And I'm happy this is doing well because, again, it just goes to show that regardless, like I said earlier, regardless of who's making the content, it doesn't matter where they're from, what color skin they are, what their lifestyle is, as long as the show is good and people are praising it. And this is the guy that got fired by Disney. Is there any indication as to why he got fired yet or what happened?
Not only is there not, but he's been quite active on Twitter. And about the show, and he put out homework for the finale, and it's actually a Star Trek: The Next Generation episode that he put out for homework, and the particular one that he put out makes me very fearful now for how they're going to end this, because the episode he put out there is called Cause and Effect, and this episode of The Next Generation has the Enterprise in a time loop. And they run into, this is where Kelsey Grammer is there as a captain from the Wrath of Khan time frame, and they run into each other, and they're both in the time loop, and they have to figure out how to get out of the time loop, and save everything as a result of that. And that was the homework episode that both said, to be prepared for the last one. So I wouldn't get too wound up about Wolverine and some of the rest of this now, or Genosha or any of the things maybe that have happened recently, because if this is just a timely wibbly wobbly, timely wimely, and all of a sudden it's a reset, hopefully they pull it off. But a lot of times when that happens, it just makes me annoyed.
Yeah, right? Because it's like everything I just watched was just meant nothing.
Yeah, here we go again.
None of it matters.
Yeah.
So, but the thing that Nick, you liked a lot, Coach hated, right? When I was talking to Coach, I was like, what did you not like about it? And everything you just said you really liked about Wolverine. And what's it? Coach, I didn't like it the first time. I didn't like it this time
we got more Wolverine in the episode. Sorry, Lou, you might want to jet, brother, because I'm about to drop some more spoilers. So here, 3, 2, 1, spoiler time. We've been saying the show needs more Wolverine over and over and over. Finally, we get it in this episode, and then they basically just ripped his testicles right off when he loses his adamantium. He's not, when he doesn't have his adamantium, it's not the Wolverine that we know. Now, I know that was part of the Fatal Attractions storyline from 1993, X-Men number 30-something. I know what happened. I know that he had the bones and became one of the horsemen for Apocalypse. I know all that. But this ain't the Wolverine that I want to see. And it's just crazy to me that finally we get him in action doing things again. Magneto should be dead after he was skewered by Wolverine.
Yeah.
So Wolverine's not going to die. There's no way. But he's not going to be the same that he was. You know, and when that happened in the comic books, he like leaves. He's sad. He's depressed. He goes back into his loner roots. He goes on this Wolverine journey, and then that's when Apocalypse finds him and converts him for a time. But I don't know, man. To me, it was it's almost like there's too much happening at the end of the season. It's just too much. Like the story just kind of got away from itself for me. And I didn't like how in the episode, you know, this whole time it was like, well, we wish Professor X was here. Well, we sure do miss the professor. Gosh, what would the professor think? Well, he shows up and everybody's pissed at him.
Yeah. He was getting flack from everybody.
Rogue leaves him and joins Magneto. Cyclops walks off and leaves him. And the X-Men that I grew up watching, I don't think they would do that.
I guess we'll see what happens at the end. Like I said, as somebody who has no grounding in the original series and wasn't a huge, just not of the right time for me from an X-Men perspective, I was quite entertained by this this episode. I didn't expect the way it ended. I did think Magneto was a little over the top, but
I like seeing him back in his original suit.
100%, the helmet, the whole 9 yards. I mean, he seemed very Magneto-y. I agree with you about Professor X. Professor X seemed just like he was just whiny the whole time. He just came across as very whiny, and I didn't. It seemed a little out of character, but I guess they were just playing to the whole. You know, he was feeling like he really let them down, and yada yada yada. And I'm like, well, you can't have one Disney series without having some downtrodden, you know, guy coming back who's got to get his mojo. I mean, at least we have to have that theme represented. So I'm like, okay, so I guess Professor X is playing the whole, I used to be all that, and then I kind of lost it. Now I'm back again to redeem myself. So maybe it shouldn't be that surprising. But again, I thought it was 30 minutes of entertainment. It was fine.
Sure. And I did like the homage to the original 60s X-Men. How they put on their original suits and Wolverine's suit from the 70s. I mean, or the early 80s. That was pretty good.
Now, I did see some scuttlebutt because Morph turned into the Hulk for a second. You caught, of course, you must have caught Morph as the Hulk. And so some of my online folk, you know, were speculating that perhaps they're trying to get the whole X-Men versus Avengers or do some things. Because, again, we've had Captain America cameo and some of the rest of this maybe not knowing how it's going to end and where we're going to go for season 2, just wondering if they're trying to do something there. I just thought that was interesting that he picked the Hulk all of a sudden making an appearance.
Yeah, we might see more of that as time goes on. Let's go through these real quick. Debbie Young, Coach, I'm being serious and no disrespect meant, but what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do in Gina's place? You would be asking me a question about Jesus on this show when I've been sitting here cussing and being mad. So Jesus would say...
He wouldn't have been in the situation in the first place to even have that even happen.
No. No, Jesus was definitely persecuted for his beliefs and what he thought and said.
Oh, no, I'm saying like he wouldn't have been like an actor on a Star Wars show for Disney.
Yes, Nick. Jesus would say, blessed are those who gets persecuted for my name. That's what he would say. So, but great question there. And thank you for putting it in perspective. Now, Lord, forgive me for being ugly. All right, Venger, €5 or pounds. Sad Game of Thrones news. Ian Gelder, who played Kevin Lannister, Tywin's brother, died yesterday of bile duct cancer. He was 75. Man, that is sad. That. Yep, yeah. I did not know that.
Yep.
Did not know that. Very, very sad. So, thank you, Venger, for letting us know. Lou Capadonna, $5. No, my childhood is a lie. I hate Star Wars and I hate all of you. Wah. Thank you, Lou. Thanks for the laugh. Mexican Iron Man.
Oh,
for
don't.
40
No,
months.
please don't.
Hey, Darth Sempus. So what's the deal with KK? Is she going to retire this year? And is the rumor true you two are going to Jamaica together for a week to one of those beach nude resorts or what? When is the trip scheduled?
It's not true. She's not retiring this year.
Oh, yeah. I thought she was out after Indiana Jones. That was her swan song, right?
She's retired quite a few times, Coach. One of these times it will be true. It will be true.
Eventually it'll be true.
We come out with these news and scoops and these breaking theories and, things that we believe, like X-Men 97. And I'm not, boy, I guess I'm just in the mood tonight. I'm going to prove it here. We made videos about how they have gone the wrong way with X-Men 97. We made videos talk about how it's going to be woke garbage. They're destroying another thing from our childhood just weeks ago, before we ever saw an episode. Mm-hmm. We watch it, we review it, we like it, and we tell everybody, I was wrong. How many other content creators have been doing that? Because I saw a lot of X-Men 97 hate before an episode came out. I'm just curious. Can y'all name anybody else that retracted their statements? You know what? I was wrong about this one.
Yeah, I can, because I actually saw a video on it today. Jeff Hicks from World Class Bullshitters.
Right.
He basically was
that doesn't
talking
surprise
about,
me.
Yeah.
Can you name any more? There should be a ton, right?
No, I can't.
Because most people don't do that. Most people don't do that. I think. Do they call that pride? Is that pride? I don't know. I'm making the DA uncomfortable.
No, you're not. I'm good. I do it all the time. I say stuff is going to be trash, and then I watch it, and it's like, hey, you know what? This was actually all right.
Yeah.
But what is you have a lot of folks that will click on something just to hear what they want to hear, and if they don't hear it, they're angry or they're upset or whatever. I believe in honest commentary. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I feel, and I'm gonna keep it as 100% real as I can. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. You can disagree, and I appreciate the back and forth as long as it's polite and respectful. I'm good. When you get disrespectful is when I get upset. But that's kind of the reason I stopped reading comments, because people are crazy and disrespectful in the comments. But if you're willing to go back and forth with me, and it's the conversation is polite and respectful, I'm good. So it's a lot of folks out there. And I find a lot of people, they don't even watch like the whole videos. They watch like first 5, 10, maybe not even 5 seconds of the video, just to hear what your original take is. And then that's it. Oh man, this guy's a shill. This, and this. And it's like, did you hear the other arguments that I laid out about this? I could remember a video where someone was literally ripping me to shreds, and I'm like, dude, every point that you just made, I answered in like minute 8, minute 9, minute 10, and I'm like, I'm wasting my. This guy's never gonna admit that he didn't watch the whole video and he was wrong. So got a lot of stuff you got with a grain of salt.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that, DA, because me and Coach actually, for one of our, I think it was either Ahsoka, it might have been Ahsoka, it was one of the shows that came out. We started our review off on our channel just saying, man,
that was one of the
best
all-time
episode
greatest
ever. Like we were just praising it, but we were being sarcastic, but we were sounding legit. Like
we were saying how great it was, but every point we made
was trashing it.
Was trash.
Yeah, we were trashing it. So people in the comments were like, "Oh my gosh, are you guys insane? Like, I can't believe you guys thought that was good." I'm like, well, there you go. There's a person right there that didn't watch the whole video. Right
I
there.
love it when people say I'm a shill, like this jackleg earlier. My left pinky toe has done more against Disney Star Wars than he's ever thought about. So,
to me, the interesting thing about that Ahsoka video was if you looked at the comments, you had two groups of folks who really didn't watch the video. You had the, oh my God, I can't believe they love this. this is awful. What happened? And then you also had the, yo, you finally came around. I'm glad you're liking Ahsoka now. And it was so funny because both groups of folks were represented in the comments. And then you had the third group who actually watched the video and said, good one, that was funny or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Nice.
And
They watch, like I said, they come to the video.
Some of them are our members.
Yeah, some of our
They
members
literally just listen to the first minute. Yeah. They listen to the first minute of the video, and then they go. And then they go right to the comments. And it's like, okay.
Which Nick and I don't worry about that stuff. We're gonna do what we think is best and say what we want to say.
Yeah.
And look, we're as authentic as they come. I say what I think. I don't care what anybody else. I don't care about being in the minority ever. I am the guy that proudly goes, everybody disagrees with me. Sweet. Don't care. I don't need anybody's pat on the back to agree with me.
Look at this.
I mean, you just admitted that you don't like the Goonies. And now it's like, wait a minute, hold up, man. Hold up. You don't like the Shawshank Redemption. Like, who is this man? But it's honest. It's honest.
Great movies. Yeah.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen Nicholas Glenn called a shill. It happened it's the first time for everything.
Yeah, I shill away on Disney. Disney Star Wars. That's why
I love it.
I just give them praise all the time here on this channel.
Speaking about, I mean, I was just kind of thinking about it today. Some of my students we were talking about X-Men 97. I teach like 130 kids, and 3 of them have seen an episode. We started talking about Star Wars, and like they don't know anything. And I thought to myself, man, look what an impact the original trilogy had on me. We have a Star Wars channel. If you remove the books and the games from the 90s, how much Star Wars do I really love outside the original trilogy? Not
very much.
Not much. There is more marginal or bad Star Wars than great. Much more.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Wait, hold up. Sucker free. Maybe that's the test. Let me see your childhood Kenner Star Wars toy collection. Name the figure. Name the figure. Any figure you could dream of. Name it. Any figure you could dream of.
Oh, come on.
Sucker Free go make Coach make a video about his Kenner collection and just go around and just, here's my Kenner collection.
In 50, I'm waiting for his reply. I'll have it in 15 seconds.
You've never had a complete mint Kenner collection.
Who?
Coach. You're telling stories now.
Show me an original Falcon. You said figure. I got rid of all the ships because this is a studio now and not a Star Wars museum, but Nick saw it when it was.
Yeah. We got a crap ton of pictures of the whole collection. And once Coach got it all set up in the office there, I mean,
you said figure.
Everywhere.
Let's go. Figure. Name it. All right, Lord of the Rings, boys.
He's going to come back and he's going to say rocket firing Boba Fett.
I actually have one. It's just not real.
Yeah. We both got one. It's just not original. Our good friend Rob from across the pond actually custom made them for Coach and I.
Rob Wright said yak face.
You don't have
Sucker Free. I am not sure you're a real fan. You must be a fake fan because you can't even name a figure. Or are you doing a Google list right now of what's the hardest to find figures in Kenner Star Wars? Do you not know?
I can name several off the top of my head right now.
You should be able to name them all.
Yeah. I probably can if I sat here and thought about it. I mean, Rob mentioned one of them right there, Yak Face.
I mean, I'll go get Yak Face if that's what old boy wants. Walrus Man?
Walrus
Oh,
Man.
that's
Okay.
a common one.
All right, yeah.
Everybody has that.
Let me go get you Walrus Man. I'll be right back. And I'm not Nick.
He's got Nick's avatar up.
Yeah. But while he's getting that, yeah, freaking Lord of the Rings news dropping today. I couldn't believe it.
So what is it? So they're doing a Gollum show? Is that what's happening? Or a movie? Or what is it going to be?
Yeah. Two things happen. They announced first. They just announced the movie is coming, and a movie is coming in 2026.
It's going to be two.
Yeah, the Peter Jackson is going to be involved.
I'm going to show you guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nope. Go. We were just doing the Lord of the Rings thing.
Here's what a non-Star Wars fan I am. There's my Walrus Man. Hang on. It gets better. There's my Walrus Man.
You got to put your hand behind it.
There he is.
There's my Walrus Man. And Nick knows the one I'm about to show.
Oh, yeah.
There's my Walrus Man. If you want to know. BRB. I'm not Nick.
Yeah, what Matt was saying. Go ahead, Matt.
So the movie's coming 2026. They said, okay, Peter Jackson's going to be involved, and then it came out that it's directed by Andy Serkis, and it's going to be called The Hunt for Gollum. It's going to be a Gollum-focused movie in 2026.
And it's going to be two movies, right? They're going to film them all at the same time.
I thought I heard three, but it's at least 2 or 3 movies, I think. And the first one I know for a fact they confirmed is the Andy Serkis one. I think that's all we know right now.
Interesting.
So what do y'all think? Do we need more Lord of the Rings movies? Number 1, and number 2, do we think if we did need another one that Gollum is the way to start?
So the fact that Peter Jackson is coming back and his partners, Fran Welsh and what's the other Felipe? I can't remember the last name. Who are producing it? They're going to be involved. Yep. They're going to be involved. All the people at Weta are going to be involved in it.
What about Andy Serkis directing? What do you think about that?
Sundowners said that's a turnoff for him, right? Andy Serkis.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. I wish Peter Jackson was doing it. But here's the thing. I'm not crazy necessarily about the premise of the story.
That's where I was just going. Do we need the movie
Give me a big
at all?
war. Don't give me a search for Gollum.
Yeah. So I guess this is going to take place like in between during the couple months time span when they were had left the Shire for the Ring. It's going to be happening during the same time frame as the Lord of the Rings movies.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be way before that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a needed movie. I don't think anybody's I don't think this thing is going to do amazing numbers or anything. I guess they just, again, it's just non-creative. Milk the franchise, get more money off of Lord of the Rings. How much more, money can we squeeze out of this franchise? Instead of going on and making new things. That's kind of the problem in Hollywood right now. That's why Hollywood's failing, because they just want to double and triple down on old franchises instead of creating new franchises. And so, I mean, it may be great, but it just seems, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. Like Gollum? You're going to make a movie about Gollum? I don't know about that.
It's weird. I know. Make it about Legolas. Or I don't know. DA, question. Is that 1/8 of Mexican Iron Man's head in your picture?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Good eye, coach. Good eye. You recognize that.
I'd recognize that head anywhere. So
So
that's,
the only other thing I'll offer about the this Gollum movie in 2026, I wonder how and if they'll release it around the same time as the Star Wars movie. If we really do get Mandalorian and Grogu in 2026, I wonder how gutsy they are, right? And trying to bring this Lord of the Rings thing back as competition for the first Star Wars movie back in the theater since forever.
if we're not careful, Gollum's going to turn into the next Palpatine.
Yeah,
They're
really
going to do
right.
They're going to do a sequel to Lord of the Rings, and somehow Gollum returned.
Yeah. Yeah.
On a side note, with all this is a big, huge middle finger right to Amazon in the Rings of Power show for sure. Because they're under contract. They got to keep still making that garbage, whether anybody's watching it or not. And now you have the actual people that they basically kicked out of the show, including what's the lore guy, Tom Shippey. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Hopefully they bring him in on this project as well. Is it needed? No. I don't think it's needed, but with the people involved and the way that all of the people who are going to be involved in this have such a disdain for the Amazon show and what they're doing over there, I think they have a lot to, kind of prove. Like, hey, look, we're going to do this story and it's going to actually be good. It's not going to be this trash that you guys are doing over there on Amazon. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Well, they still have to make up for The Hobbit. You remember The Hobbit? How'd you guys feel about The Hobbit? I think Peter Jackson's hands ain't exactly like sparkling clean here. You got to make up for that too.
It's pretty much the prequel trilogy.
Yeah. But there's aspects of it I like.
Better, a little bit better.
Yeah, slightly
I think The Hobbit's better than this prequel.
The last movie, the final battle was pretty good.
Yeah,
my wife actually cried in the theater when Evangeline Lilly's character was crying at the loss of Feely or whichever one it was.
Yeah,
yeah. I went to the second movie with Nick and his dad, and his dad snored through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Well, it was a long movie.
And I have not seen the movie with my dad in the theater again since that time. I refuse to go.
But Nick, do you want to go see Lord of the Rings when it comes back to the theater?
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely going to go see this.
The problem is they're releasing them one day apart. So it's like June 9th, 10th, and 11th, and they're going to be there for like a week.
Oh,
and it's
the
like
new ones.
That's a lot of movie going.
Yeah. The Lord of the Rings ones. No, I thought you were talking about this new one that they're going to do. No, I'm not going to go see the original Lord of the Rings in the theater.
Did Coach actually say the Hobbit movies are better than the prequels? Guys, look, they are.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree because I'm not that big of a fan of the prequels.
Yeah.
I have a different appreciation for them today as I did back then. I mean, back in the day, I kind of despised those movies.
You know what? You know what a major issue with Star Wars is today, and it has been for the past few years? Because Dave Filoni received the tutelage from George Lucas during the prequel era. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And just be careful.
I agree. Honestly, I think Go ahead, Rissman. Sorry about that.
I just before I lose the train of thought, I'm pretty sure I looked up the re-release and it's a Fathom event. So it's being like hosted in the theater, but you have to get the tickets through Fathom events. And I think it's just 3 days in a row, like June 8th, 9th, and 10th, where they're just showing them 2 showings each day. But again, it's like I don't know how much tickets are going to cost, but you don't even get them through the ticket website of the theater. You get them through Fathom Events, and they say, okay, near you, it's going to be playing at this AMC, or it's going to be playing at this Cinemark, or whatever. It's not like they did with the Phantom Menace, where they released it, on 2,700 screens as a part of the theater's offering. So if you do want to see those, check it out through Fathom Events, because Fathom's doing also Neverending Story is coming back, one of the Muppet movies. There's several of these that are coming back on re-release, but they're being brokered through Fathom Events.
I'm not trying to walk it back, but after sitting here thinking about it, my statement was really more about the prequels. I would say that, to me, they're at least very comparable. Because here's what's making me kind of change. How many times have I watched the Hobbit trilogy since I saw it in the theater? Maybe once.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know if I'll ever watch it again.
Once was enough.
I'll watch the prequels again. Yeah, you're right. I think I watched the last Hobbit movie. I didn't even see the last one until it came out on like streaming or home video or something. I don't think I even watched that one in theaters, because I was done after the second one. I'm like, man, this is not good. First one was really hard to get through, although there was some good moments, but the second one was just like, I'm done.
Bro, I hope you're kidding.
I'm not kidding at all. The second movie?
I'm talking about the comment. Not
talking
you.
about the comment.
Oh.
Simmer down, DA. This is a safe place. No, I'm talking about Sucker Free.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure.
Yeah. They were all original. And if you don't know that, you are a fake fan, sir. You're a fake fan. Anyways, all right.
And that
guys,
wasn't Walrus Man. That was Snaggletooth.
Yeah, I didn't show Walrus Man, but I got like 5 Walrus Men.
I think Walrus Man is a pretty common.
Yes, it's very common.
Yeah.
I think I have a Walrus Man in my thoughts.
I even have Nick's Greedo up there, just never told him. Because he accused me of stealing it when we were in the 8th grade.
Yeah. Where's my
Greedo? Lou Capadonna, X-Men 97 works as it takes existing amazing story arcs from the comics. Hopefully Disney sees this to fix the MCU. Star Wars needs to use the great expanded universe and kill the message once and for all. I agree, but I have no hope that that's going to happen anytime soon. As a matter of fact, I don't think our culture will ever walk it back. We are what we are. This is what it is. And the more entertainment does this, the less people are going to watch it and go to YouTube and other places.
Yeah. I mean, we just heard it in those Lucasfilm videos tonight.
Yes.
If you guys didn't catch that at the beginning of the stream, I mean, they literally talked about, the message and what they want to tell the world. That's not. Do you think George Lucas was like, what can I tell the world? No, he just wanted to make something, in a space setting that reflected the stuff he grew up and loved.
It's almost like Mark Hamill took over as president of Lucasfilm.
Nick, George Lucas was too busy ripping off World War II movies. He couldn't have no time. He didn't have no time for a message. Out there searching for content.
What is up, Scott?
Hey, you know what?
Do you think? Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go. I'm saying, keep going.
Scott Edwards with a $1.99 super chat. Do you think Bo-Katan will be in the Mando film? I hope they all are.
100%.
She'll probably be the main character in it. Did you not see season 3?
Hey, so
it'll be called Mando and Grogu, and it'll be all about Bo-Katan.
Here's one of my shield-tastic comments. I like Bo-Katan a lot, and I would be down for her getting another show of her own, since she's already had one.
Yeah, I'm fine with the character, but in season 3, when they kind of made it all about her and less about Mando and Grogu and that sort of thing, it just felt like they kind of were like, all right, are we going back to the Force's female here and just putting the focus on the female character? Yeah. Because that's exactly what they did.
That's obvious. That was obvious. That's what they do. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. That's exactly what they did. They just went straight Forces female, and and this story in season 3 should have been about, it should have been about Din Djarin and what's the other guys? Paz Vizsla. All right. Those should have been. It should have been those two guys because we saw them squaring off in the Book of Boba Fett, and I thought that I knew that was all right. It's going to be these two guys. They're going to try to retake Mandalore. Whose ideology are we going to rock with? Maybe Bo-Katan is going to be kind of like a go-between, but I thought it would be about those two guys, and where's the future of Mandalore going to fall? Is it going to fall in the hands of the armorer and her ideology, or is it going to fall in the hands of Bo-Katan? And then you have Din Djarin kind of in the middle, and then there's Paz Vizsla, who feels he's rightfully the owner of the Darksaber. I thought that's what they should have did, and they didn't do any of that. They let's just make it about Bo-Katan. I was like, man, this is stupid.
Speaking of Bo-Katan, if you want to see Katie in her best role yet, they very quietly brought the Battlestar Galactica reboot back to streaming on Prime Video. So if you want to have it go back and rewatch a treat, or if you've never seen the reboot of Battlestar Galactica where Katie obviously plays Starbuck, you can watch it again on Prime Video. Go do it.
So, all right. Last thing
real,
I want
real fast, Coach. One quick point that I wanted to make. It was something that you had said when you were talking about you have 130 some odd kids, but only 3 of them have watched X-Men 97. It's the same thing with Star Wars. Lucasfilm has absolutely failed to grow the franchise into the youth. When we were all kids, we grew up watching Star Wars. Lucasfilm has failed to generate a new, excited, fan base. And that's the biggest problem they have right now, because, nobody's talking about this stuff. They're talking about anime. They're talking about video games. I'm talking about like the Gen, I guess, Z and Gen Alpha. They're talking about everything else except Star Wars, except Marvel. They have driven people away from these franchises. And, as much as Kathleen Kennedy, she is, telling the story, doing great and honoring the George Lucas legacy, they have failed so miserably. And that just, when you said that, I was just like, yeah, my kids and their friends, they less about what we talk about here on this channel. Like, I tried to get them, hey, watch Echo Base and tell me what you think. Say, man, you guys are just talking about Star Wars. I was like, man, you don't care about, they don't care. That's the biggest problem right now, is that they don't. Anyway, that was it.
Lost the PA.
Yep, that's good. So, last thing before we end the show, Star Wars Theory covered, and I don't look. I'm not even subscribed to Star Wars Theory. I don't watch his content anymore. Ever since I'll leave that alone. But I saw it on social media, and I clicked on it. I'm like, what is he talking about? And there was an article that came out 2 weeks ago, and it had Leslie Headland quotes talking about the Acolyte, and she was talking about the balance of the Force. One good, one bad, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And the article went on to talk about how Disney has pretty much destroyed what George Lucas originally meant by the balance of the Force, which they also highlighted towards the very end of Lucas's tenure. That's when he did the Mortis arc, and then that's when the whole balance of the Force thing, the Father, the Son, and the daughter, and the Father was the balance, literally in between the two, holding both good and bad in balance. The problem with that is that in the beloved prequel trilogy, Obi-Wan Kenobi said, it was said you were to bring balance to the Force. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. George Lucas, the balance of the Force was when there was no dark side. There was only light. Comments?
They're rewriting, and that's as simple as I can see it. They're just rewriting what George has already written. How else can we see it? They're changing what the Force is,
Well, not according to the sequels. And he did destroy the Sith.
Yeah.
Rissman, you look like you want to...
I think I think for me, a tenet of Star Wars has always been good versus evil, light versus dark. Whether it's always Sith versus Jedi, whether it's Empire versus Rebellion, whatever it is, right? To me, it's a coming of age story that talks about dealing with those tropes, right? Good versus evil. Where I think we've strayed a little bit now, especially in the Disney Star Wars era, is the grayness starts coming in. And, we saw this very clearly in Ahsoka with Balin and Shin, right? And the orange lightsaber and this, well, they weren't one way or the other. They're very complicated. It's complicated, right? We heard that a lot. And now we've even seen some in the Acolyte. Well, it's not about good versus evil. It's about how you wield power, right? And just taking some of these concepts, and on Derek's point, I agree, and twisting them, I think, and complicating it unnecessarily, but directly on the whole chosen one and bring balance to the Force and all these things. This just became complicated to me with the prequels, right? It was much more cut and dry in the original trilogy. Then we had the prequels. The prequels, in an effort to clarify, confused some things for me. And then the sequels just puts it all in the toilet, right, and flushes. So I don't. It's
I
hard.
thought you were a shill.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I'm still am. But you know what I mean? All those things, when you shake and put all this, because I saw a lot of online chatter very recently about the whole chosen one thing, and is it Anakin, and is it Luke, and what does it mean, but why wasn't it discussed in the original trilogy? Well, it was, and that's with the whole thing of Darth Maul. But then the prequels came, and what about the sequels? I'm like, I just don't think it's that deep, right?
Balance of the Force, prophecy, chosen one, midichlorians. That's all garbage.
Yeah, him being born with no father,
the virgin birth,
and then
garbage.
His brother, Luke's uncle is not even really his family. It's just, by marriage, because his mom went and married somebody else. There's so many good stories you could have told where with Anakin, his brother, who ends up raising Luke, his wife, Padme, all that sort of stuff, and told that in those first two movies. And that third movie had Vader, had that family dynamic, because George always said, it's a family soap opera. But then he ends up putting all this other gobbledygook in there with midichlorians and the virgin birth, of Anakin, the chosen one, all that. I didn't like any of that stuff.
And that's the guy that trained Filoni.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Sabine all of a sudden tapping into her midichlorians, that M count. It's not the greatest.
My God.
Hu Yang say, you're the worst I've ever seen. But boy, she rose to the occasion, didn't she? He didn't know nothing about her. Come on, man. Really?
I mean, Obi-Wan gave all we needed to know about the Force in the very first movie. It's the energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us. It binds us. The whole explanation. That was all we needed.
That's all we needed.
Not everything has to be explained. Especially when it comes to a spiritual power force, like that. It just is what it is. I mean, we didn't get any explanation in the movies on how lightsabers work. We know there's kyber crystals in them, and that's it. But how does the laser stop it? We don't need all this explanation. All this breakdown of all this.
Too complicated. It doesn't need to be that complicated.
Exactly.
To enjoy the story. That's why Star Wars, Now A New Hope, was so enjoyable as a standalone story. Didn't need all this other crap.
Yeah.
It was
Cobra
just
Kai.
a great story.
Another good example. Very simplified storyline. Now they're getting to the point to where they got so many characters in it. It's kind of getting almost like that's too many people to focus on. But yeah.
And so many people are such diehard, compassionate fans about the prequels. Honor, respect, love you guys. I'm just not one of them. But the more I think about it, I'm so far removed from watching the Clone Wars series that I'm falling back into. I really don't like the prequels. But, truthfully, when the Clone Wars series is fresh on my mind, when I've been watching it, I like the prequels a lot more. I've said that I love them. But sometimes you just love something that you don't like. Sounds like a lot of marriages.
One of the things that really impressed me about watching The Phantom Menace again in the theater with the theater full of folks is, I don't know, maybe it's just the nostalgia now and just some of the things, but I don't know, even Jar Jar was funny. All right, you know what I mean? There was some of the stuff that was a little cringy, right? And some of it was funnier than it seemed to be. And I don't know. I think it's just, there is something about enjoying some of this stuff with folks who are also enjoying it, especially the older stuff that still just offers a special experience. Even at The Phantom Menace is still one of my least favorite Star Wars movies.
Had a good poster.
It sure did. Did. Still was a great experience to see some of original Star Wars, back out. I wish they would do more of that. I really do. I wish they would bring more of the original movies back out for people to watch.
You remember when we really just saw Yoda as a wise teacher, not a great warrior? I mean, we really didn't.
Yeah, we didn't need that either.
I'm not gonna disagree.
We didn't need it. Yoda was just fine being an old hermit in the swamps, teaching Luke, about the Force. That was it. Yoda's my favorite character for that reason.
He did say that he had a council, so George did have that vision.
Yeah,
but the fact that he's flipping around, lightsaber wielding, that never occurred to me when I watched Empire. So, yeah, guys, great show. Thank you guys all for being here. Any last words? Promote what you got going on. We'll start with DA.
No, nothing to promote. Thanks. I'm sorry about the internet issues. I'll try to see if we can get those back up and running. But Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, the DA's office. Check me out there. I'll have some more videos coming up soon. There's so much going on right now that I'm not talking about. And I'm trying to there's a lot of drama right now going on, especially in the video game space. And I'm really steering clear of that. But otherwise, just check me out. I got some videos coming soon. Hope everything goes well with everybody this week. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Rissman?
Just glad to be here as always. Had a good, thought this was a good show. Nice turnout. Thanks for everyone being so engaged in the chat. We certainly had a lot of people there chatting away. So what do we got going on tomorrow, Nick? Do we have the EVN cast tomorrow?
EVN cast tomorrow afternoon, 2:00 Central Time.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us, guys. What do I have going on? I guess more salty comments.
I can't wait to see what happens in your next. I can't wait to see what happens in your next video, Coach.
You never know. Guys, thank you very much for being here. Whether you agree with the takes or not, we appreciate you being here and giving yours. So we are your Echo Base Network. May the Force be with you, no matter what Star Wars you like the most. And we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.
Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network, thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens.